Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about how to automate our Happy Housiversary cards, and this will also work for birthdays as well. So here is the card that we built in our video about doing this manually. The example script you might use here. You can throw the QR code on the page. It shows up at the bottom with your branding and all that stuff. We have our image template made. And remember, in Thanks.io, you need a mailing list, an image template, and a message template. Here's our our image template. And then the kind of magic sauce here in order to automate all this is that you need to get contacts into a mailing list with a birth date attached. So if I create a blank retargeting list here, Happy Housiversary, we'll call it, I can either manually add people to this list, like so. So let's just bring all my info up here. And you'll notice that we have a date of birth, a DOB field down here at the bottom. Okay. And if you're doing happy anniversary, you would just put the closing date here for the DOB. If you're doing birthdays, you'd put their birthday. So let's just say that they bought, I don't know, make up a date, 10/13/2022, right here, and click Save. Now what Thanks.io can do is it can automatically look at everybody in this list and automatically send something on this date. Okay, so the way that you tell it to automatically send something on this date is via our campaigns functionality. So if I come to the left here into campaigns, and I add a new campaign action here, I can basically say, hey, I want to send this note card for the happy anniversary, Housiversary, with this message script, and I want to send it to anybody who gets on this list, and I want to send it on the birthday. So the system uses birthdays because we're not just real estate here. So birthday is the date. If it's the anniversary date, we're just treating that like the birthday. I think I said that already. So now when I save this, anytime somebody is added to my Happy Housiversary list, a card will go out in the mail 8 days prior, which is meant to get it there pretty much on the date. So it takes about a week for us to print and have the post office deliver. We do 8 days. So it'll show up the day before, the day of, or the day after, usually, right there, every year automatically to everybody in this list. Now you're probably sitting there wondering, okay, cool, I can manually add people, I can have my assistant do that, that's fine. But how can I just automate that? You know, or how can I upload the people I already have? So let me show you those two things. So let's assume that you have a list of past clients sitting in your CRM, and you have all the closing dates, right? What you need to do is you need to put them in a CSV. It's probably already going to be in a CSV if you export it from your, from your CRM. And just make sure you have a name field. You need the street address field, you need the city field, and the zip code. You need those things to be separate, and I almost forgot one important one. You do need the state as well. So it doesn't really matter what you call the column names at the top here, but roughly call them what I'm calling them here. And then the last most important thing is you're going to need that date, the closing or birth date, whatever you're doing, right? So the date field right here. So if you get them all onto that list, you can then come into your Thanks.io mailing list. Here's my Happy Housiversary list that I created. And I can click Add to List, and I can upload from the CSV. All right, so I think this one right here. And then just make sure that you map everything over. So you put the name here, right? You just go down the list, and then wherever this was a bad example, but wherever your date of birth is, you're just going to map that to the DOB field. And then you can just pull everybody in, and you'll have all your happy anniversary or all your birthday people in a Thanks.io mailing list. And then if you have that campaign logic built attached to that mailing list that I just showed you a minute ago, the cards will go out completely automatically. Now I'm going to talk real quick about how you can add these one at a time on the fly from your current CRM. So say you use KV Core, Chime, one of the other ones out there, Follow a Boss, whatever it is. You can actually use Zapier.com to push this information in. So I'm waiting for Zapier to load here. So let's just say you built the Zap, and you say, hey, my trigger is going to be KV Core. You follow all the logic at KV Core, and then whenever XYZ happens in KV Core, I have a closing, it goes to closing status. It's going to be different for every CRM. You follow the logic on that side. and then you're going to say, hey, just go ahead and add them to my mailing list. So the first option here, add recipient. You hook your account up. And then when you're mapping the data over, there's your date of birth field right here. See the birthday? That's where the date's going to go. So I know I just went over that part a little quickly because it is a little more technical, and you're probably realistically not going to end up doing this on your own. Let's just put it that way. If you get to the point where you've got, so here's the offer. If you get to the point where you've got the mailing list set up, you got the message template and the image template all ready to go, and you want it hooked up to your CRM, please do this part first, because we're not going to do this unless you're kind of along and you're just about ready. Shoot us a message in support and say, hey guys, I'd like to connect my birthday or my anniversary campaign up to Follow Up Boss, Gaming Core, Chime, whatever your CRM is, and we can do the rest for you. We will even, so that you don't have to pay for a Zapier account, we'll even do it out of our account if you'd like us to, so you don't have that additional cost. But that's about it. That's kind of the broad strokes of how to send an automated happy birthday or happy Housiversary campaign. But just remember, this is pretty simple to do manually as well, as I showed you in the last video in this series. You just come on in. You could use once you do it one time, you use the step-by-step wizard, and you just go, hey, let me grab the birthday card. Let me write a message, blah, 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 or you grab it from your templates right here. Continue, and you just add the person manually and you send them a card. It just takes minutes to do. So yeah, feel free to reach out, support@thanks.io if you have any questions about how to automatically send happy Housiversary and birthday cards to your real estate sphere and past clients.